Today, we will learn not just about success in English, but about the strength inside you. Welcome back to Mindset English, where every word you learn brings you closer to the life you dream of. Let's continue. Arjun stood in front of the small, cracked mirror in his room. His shirt was slightly wrinkled, his collar uneven. He practiced one last sentence before the big interview. "Good morning. My name is Arjun, and I'm here to apply for the customer assistant role." He whispered it again and again. He had repeated that line more than 200 times over the past week. He looked down at his notebook, filled with English phrases. On every page there were corrections, circles, and new versions written over old ones. "Speak slow, not nervous," he had written in red ink. Under that, "Smile when you talk. Confidence is a skill." His pen had nearly run out of ink, but he kept pushing. At the interview, Arjun took a deep breath. The man across the table asked him in perfect English, "Can you tell me about yourself?" His mind went blank. Then suddenly the voice of his online teacher echoed in his head. "Pause, breathe, speak like you mean it." Arjun opened his mouth and spoke. Not perfect, not fluent, but clear, real, honest. He spoke about his village, about moving to the city, about learning English through YouTube videos, podcasts, and old grammar books. He didn't pretend to be what he wasn't, but he showed who he was, a learner who didn't give up. When he walked out of that interview room, he didn't know if he got the job. But for the first time, he felt like he belonged in the conversation. Meanwhile, across the world, a girl named Lena was facing a different kind of battle. Lena was brilliant with numbers. She had a degree in engineering, but every job interview she had in the UK asked for one thing she didn't have: strong English. She felt invisible. She would send her resume, get rejected, and wonder, is it my accent? My grammar? Her confidence slowly started to sink. One evening she sat on the edge of her bed and made a decision. "I will learn 5 new English sentences every day. No excuses." She started with simple things. "Could you please repeat that?" "What do you mean by this word?" "I'm still learning, but I'm getting better." At first it felt strange using these sentences. She worried people would laugh. But she realized something powerful. Most people don't laugh. Most people respect effort. Lena recorded herself speaking every day. She listened to how she sounded and corrected her tone, her pace, her structure. She watched job interview simulations on YouTube. She practiced out loud, talking to herself, to the mirror, even to her plants. One day, during a Zoom interview, a manager asked, "What makes you different from other applicants?" Lena smiled. "Maybe my English isn't perfect yet," she said slowly, "but I know how to solve problems. I've studied hard, I'm reliable, and every single day I improve a little more." That answer got her the job, because confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about being ready to grow in public. Across continents, in a quiet neighborhood in Kenya, an elderly man named Joseph sat on his porch with a radio by his side. He had always loved English. As a boy, he dreamed of becoming a teacher. But life had other plans. Now at 67, Joseph had more time but less belief. His grandson, Emmanuel, visited often and would tell him stories in English. One day, Joseph asked, "Can you teach me the new English you learn?" Emmanuel nodded. "Of course, Grandpa." So they made a deal. Every day at 4 p.m. they would sit together. One would say a sentence, the other would translate. Then switch. "I believe I can still learn," Joseph said on the first day. Emmanuel smiled. "That's a great first sentence." Weeks passed. Their neighbors noticed. A few joined in. What started as one man's late dream became a small neighborhood class. Joseph never stood in a formal classroom, but he became the teacher he always wanted to be. This is the truth most people don't hear. It's never too late to learn, and English is not about accent, not about sounding like someone from London or New York. It's about connecting. It's about understanding others and being understood. In another corner of the world, a man named Carlos worked as a hotel janitor in Spain. His dream? To become a tour guide. But the job required good English. He only spoke Spanish. Every night after work, Carlos sat with his phone and watched travel videos in English. He paused every few seconds to write down words. He would repeat them out loud until they felt natural. "Excuse me, sir. Can I help you with directions?" This cathedral was built in the 16th century. He walked around his city practicing these lines. Tourists sometimes looked confused, sometimes amused. But every time Carlos grew stronger. He made mistakes, but he learned fast. One day, a tourist group arrived at the hotel where Carlos worked. The guide was late. The manager panicked. Carlos stepped forward. "I can show them around," he said. The manager hesitated. "Are you sure?" Carlos nodded. "Let me try." And he did. He guided the group through the city. His English was basic, but passionate. Tourists loved him. They clapped when the tour ended. That day, Carlos was offered a part-time guide job. Within months, it became full-time, because the world rewards people who show up, not just those who speak perfectly. This lesson matters, especially for you. Yes, you listening right now. You don't need to wait until your English is perfect. You don't need to feel small because of your grammar. Every time you try, you grow. Every sentence you say makes the next one easier. There's a boy in Thailand named Nareen. He watches cartoons in English with subtitles. He pauses the screen, writes down the dialogue, and speaks it aloud. There's a woman in Egypt named Amina. She practices English with tourists who visit her market stall. Sometimes they laugh. Sometimes they correct her. But always she learns. There's a refugee in Germany who learned English just to explain his story better in court. His voice shook when he spoke, but his message came through. He won his case. These are real people. Ordinary people, just like you. And here is the secret they all share. They stopped being afraid of embarrassment. Embarrassment is not failure. It's evidence that you're trying something new. And in English learning, trying is everything. There will be days you feel stuck, days when you forget simple words, days when people don't understand you. But remember, even native speakers make mistakes. Focus on progress, not perfection. Read books, watch movies, sing songs, record your voice, repeat phrases you hear. Write down your thoughts in English. Make English your daily habit, not your final goal. You are not weak because you make grammar mistakes. You are strong because you keep speaking anyway. Remember the story of the woman who sold tea by the roadside in India. Her customers were often tourists. At first, she said nothing in English. Then she learned 3 words: hello, tea, and thank you. The tourist smiled. She added more words: hot tea, fresh ginger, welcome back. Over 2 years, she learned enough to talk about her life, her family, her village. A travel vlogger recorded a video of her speaking in English. That video went viral. Her tea shop became famous. She built a small home from the money she earned, all from starting with 3 words. You see, your story doesn't need to start big. It just needs to start. Learning English isn't about passing a test. It's about opening doors to better jobs, to new friendships, to freedom of expression. It's the tool that helps you say to the world, "Here I am." So next time you doubt yourself, remember, there's a girl somewhere learning English by flashlight because her house has no electricity. There's a boy practicing grammar while working on a farm. There's a man repeating English phrases during his night shift at the factory. And there's you, sitting here, watching this video, trying. And that effort? It matters. It changes things. Keep a notebook. Write 3 sentences a day. Speak them aloud. Watch your videos with English subtitles. Listen and repeat. Read children's books. They're simple and powerful. Every small step is a brick in the wall of your future. And when the day comes that someone says to you, "Your English is really good," don't say, "No, I'm still bad." Smile. Say, "Thank you. I've been practicing," because you've earned it, and you're just getting started. You don't need anyone to give you permission. You don't need someone to tell you, "Now's the right time." No one is coming to announce your greatness. You must decide right now, today, that you're enough, that you pick yourself. Every single day, when you tell yourself, "I pick me," something shifts. You begin to carry yourself differently. You walk into rooms with purpose. You show up not just hoping to be seen, but knowing you deserve to be. And here's the truth. The world cannot ignore a person who believes in themselves so fiercely that it becomes impossible not to notice. Be that person, be the fire, be the storm, be the one they can't look away from. Lesson 12. No risk, no story. You want a story worth telling? You want to be remembered? Then understand this truth deeply. Greatness doesn't come without risk. There is no safety net on the path to your dreams. No successful life was ever built inside a comfort zone. No powerful person became powerful by hiding behind routine. The people you admire, the legends, the builders, the game changers, they all had to risk something. They risked their peace, their comfort, their time, their money, their reputation. Many of them risked their hearts. But you know what they didn't do? They didn't play it safe. They didn't wait, because they knew that playing it safe is the fastest way to stay invisible. And no one writes stories about the invisible. Think about this. You're afraid to speak English in public because people might laugh. So you stay silent, you hide, years pass, and you're still stuck. But what if, just once, you dared? What if one brave moment could change everything? What if a 10-second decision gave you a 10-year reward? You'll never know until you risk. So here's your challenge. Take one risk today. Speak up, post the video, apply for the job, launch the idea, message the mentor, ask the question. Risk rejection, embarrassment, failure, because the truth is, those things are temporary. But regret stays forever. So ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? Now ask yourself this, what if it actually works? Lesson 13. The clock is ticking, and it doesn't care if you're ready. Time doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't wait for your confusion to clear or your fear to fade. It doesn't pause while you figure things out. Every second that slips away is one you'll never get back. And the tragedy? You won't even realize what you've lost until one day you wake up 10 years older, standing in front of the mirror, whispering, "What happened to my dreams?" You're not too young. You're not too old. You're not too late. You're just making excuses. Let me ask you directly, when will you stop watching others succeed and start building your own life? How long will you let your dreams rot in silence while you play it safe? Stop waiting. Face yourself in the mirror and say, "No more wasting time. I'm going to become the person I was born to be." You know what's scarier than failure? Regret. That slow, haunting pain of what if? That feeling will eat you alive. So stop pretending you have forever. You don't. The clock is ticking, and your time is now. Lesson 14. Nobody cares, and that's your greatest power. Yes, this will sting, but you need to hear it. Nobody cares about your excuses. Nobody feels your pain the way you do. Nobody is coming to fix your life. People will listen for a few seconds, then move on. They're busy fighting their own battles, and that's okay. Because here's the twist. If nobody cares, then you're free. Free to fail. Free to fall. Free to try again. Free to be weird. Free to rise. You don't need permission anymore. You don't need applause. You don't need sympathy. You only need one thing, yourself. You want to cry? Cry. But then wipe your face and rise like a warrior. Use that pain. Convert it into power. Take the silence around you and make it roar with your actions. Nobody's watching. So live like no one's judging. Do it for you, for your future, for your legacy. Lesson 15. Why not now? People say, I'll start on Monday, next month, next year. But let me ask you, what's going to change between now and then? Will fear magically vanish? Will motivation suddenly strike? No. If you can't start now, you probably won't start ever. There is no perfect time. Life is always messy. You'll always have doubts. Your brain will always find a reason to delay. But every second you wait, your dream loses breath. It dies. A little more. Imagine your vision turning to dust, simply because you waited. So why not now? You want to learn English? Start now. You want to change your body, your mind, your life? Start now. Not next Monday, not next year. Now. Take one step, just one. That step can unlock a future you've never imagined. Lesson 16. If you don't like your life, create a new version. Look around. Is this the life you imagined? Are you waking up excited? Or are you just surviving? You smile for photos, but inside, you're empty. You go to work, but you feel like a robot. Be honest. You hate your routine, your job, your habits, your energy, yet you keep doing the same things and expecting change. That's insanity. You are not a tree. You are not stuck. You can move. You can rebuild. If your life feels fake, burn it down and start again. Change your hair. Change your friends. Change your mindset. Change your habits. Change your location if you have to. Stop copying what everyone else is doing. Start writing your own rules. You don't need to wait for a breakdown. You don't need to hit rock bottom. Just decide, this moment, that you will not settle. Life is your canvas. Be the artist. Paint something bold, loud, fearless. Something that looks like you. Lesson 17. Expectations. The prison of dreams. Let me tell you about Nick. Brilliant. Mind. Great communicator. Big dreams. But every day he drags himself to a job he hates. He's tired, frustrated, angry at the world. I asked, "Why are you doing this?" He said, "Because it's what my family expects. Because people will laugh if I quit." Sound familiar? Expectations are chains. They lock you in a box and tell you, stay here, be normal, don't dream too big. But listen, their expectations are not your destiny. You are not here to live a life that pleases everyone else. You are here to create a life that fulfills you. And sometimes That means disappointing people. Sometimes it means walking alone. Break the chains. Drop the mask. Stop living for them. Start living for you. Lesson 18. Your pain is your power. If you stop hiding it, maybe you've been betrayed. Maybe you failed. Maybe they laughed at you, rejected you, ignored you, and now you carry your pain like a secret. But hear me clearly. That pain can either destroy you or build you. You decide. Most people run from pain. The strongest people? They face it. They take their pain and use it as fuel. They say, that heartbreak taught me self-respect. That failure made me stronger. Don't hide your pain. Honor it. Learn from it. Let it shape you into something unbreakable. You're not broken. You're being rebuilt. The darkest nights produce the brightest stars. Let your pain sharpen you, not silence you. Lesson 19. Starve your distractions. Feed your focus. Right. Now, two wolves live in your mind. One called distraction, the other called focus. The one who wins is the one you feed more. Every time you scroll mindlessly, binge watch, gossip, or procrastinate, you're feeding the wrong wolf. And each time your dream weakens. How long will you betray your future for 5 minutes of comfort? Cut the noise. Say no to useless invites. Set boundaries. Protect your time like a lion protects its cubs. Focus is not natural. It's trained. And if you give it 365 days, just 1 year, your life will transform. That's not a guess. That's math. Starve the wolf that destroys you. Feed the one that builds you. Lesson 20. Life owes you nothing, so fight for everything. Here's the raw truth. Life does not care about your potential. It rewards performance. Dreams mean nothing if you're not showing up. There is no fairy, no genie, no perfect moment. There is only you. You want success? Then fight. Hard. Every day. Cry if you must. But don't quit. Suffer more. Train harder. Rise earlier. Outwork everyone. You want to wear the crown? Earn it. With blood, with sweat, with obsession. Maybe right now you're broken. Your heart hurts. Your money's low. Your relationships are cracking. You're tired. And no one knows how deep you're drowning. But hear me. Everything will be okay. I'm not saying that for comfort. I'm saying that because I've seen it. There is light. Always. Even in the longest tunnel. You are not done. You are not over. You are becoming. And this pain? It's just your transformation. If you don't have a dream, find one. Then fight for it. Obsess over it. Learn, grow, build, be relentless. Don't wait for applause. Be your own cheerleader. Your younger self is watching. Make them proud. You are not weak. You are not late. You are just getting started. And one day, they will ask, where did you come from? And you'll say, I came from fire, from pain, from the bottom, and I rose. So pick up your heart. Stand tall. The world is waiting. Thank you for watching. If this message moved you, don't just sit there. Take action. Like, share, and subscribe to Mindset English for more life-changing messages. Remember, your greatness is waiting. Let's go get it together.